What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to talk about some other factors involving the markets thus far and big data that's coming out. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $2,000 or more, and you're guaranteed 40. The offer ends soon in just about 12 days from now. Anyways, for the market, let's talk about some big news that's coming out. So far, Tesla's making a lot of headlines right now because we got some bad news. What's happening is the courts have come back, and we are starting to see them rejecting Elon Musk's pay package all over again, despite the fact that in June, shareholders approved his pay package. So it's a very, very big battle right now between his pay package getting approved or not. Just know that Musk was promised this package. Okay, Tesla approved this, and yet they have to once again go through the courts because they're saying that it wasn't necessarily valid. They're saying many different things about how this is not legitimate, and a bunch of different factors that are leading them to just deem it void, if anything. So, not the best of news for Elon Musk and Tesla investors. So, this is going to have to continue to be fought in courts. And it's not the best of news for them, right? Because you have to consider that Elon Musk was promised this money, or at least some form of compensation for his work. And with his pay package continually getting denied, they, they either have to reforge a new pay plan, or basically they have to just continue to fight to get this one approved. We'll have to see how it goes, but this is going to lead to a long battle. It's going to continue to lead to a fight in the courts, and we'll have to see what that leads to. But this is just not the best of news for Tesla as a whole. That's why the share price is dipping. We're barely holding 350. If that fails us, we're essentially looking for this gap fill for about 345. And if that fails us, we dip even lower, all the way down towards the 340 area, very close to where this trend line happens to be. This trend line right over here is what I'm going to be looking for. So if you connect the lines, I know it's a little hard to see, but you guys can see this yellow line right over here, which aligns very closely to our 50 EMA. Anyways, for the broader markets, however, we do have more news coming out. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. Today at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes after the market opens, we have the JOLTS job openings and job quits reports. This will lead to more volatility, so get ready for this, and we'll see what this causes, at least for Tesla and other stocks out there, like the S&P 500 and beyond. So we'll see what the jobs numbers look like. It's going to cause some volatility. Get ready for that at 10 o'clock a.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. Besides that, the market's approaching new highs. So just keep that in mind. We're continuing to push very well, but be careful as we're approaching some tough resistance for the NASDAQ and the QQQ. The majority of Fed speakers are in favor of a cut, which is in about 2 weeks from now for the December meeting for FOMC. So we'll see about that. And then Elon Musk's pay package news is just making all the headlines. Besides that, there was just minor earnings for banks. And now I just want to focus on what the charts are telling us. So once again, Tesla has 350 support. If it doesn't hold us, I think we fill this gap down to about the 345 area. Not to mention the imbalance below could take us closer to 340 or below. So not the best of news for Tesla. It is dipping so far and may continue to dip more with this news coming out. For the broader markets, just know that SPY hit some tough resistance at 604. It's a very, very tough resistance. We'll have to see if we could hold above that or not. We need to try to get back above 604 to start pushing higher. If we can't do that, there's going to be a risk of this dipping lower back down towards 602, not to mention 600 flat. I think we dip a little bit upon open towards the 602s. We may try to rebound a bit and then consolidate. And then once this data comes out, the jobs numbers, we'll see if SPY pushes back up to 604, if it gets a rug pull back down to 600, if not 598 if that fails us. So look at 602 as the main support. If that fails us, we're looking for 600.9. That's going to be our 20 EMA. And if that fails us, we dip all the way down to about 598. So keep those levels in mind. To be bullish, you want to break past 604, but overall, there is that risk of downside. So just keep that in mind as we're seeing some weakness perpetuate. For ES, we're just choppy right now, but there is that risk of this dipping lower. We are chopping at the all-time high on ES. It's at some tough resistance, so I anticipate this imbalance will fill towards 6,050 for a small dip. Look for a little dip upon open, and then we'll see if we get a bounce or not as time goes on to consolidate. And then once this data comes out at 10 a.m., we'll see if that leads to a push or if we get a rug pull. We have the main support at 6,045. If that fails us, we are going to be looking for ES to start dipping to 6,030. So keep that in mind, guys. I just want to give you guys a warning about that. For others out there, we have Nvidia. Nvidia tried to push very, very well. It's range bound right now. We need to get back above 138. Otherwise, we're at risk of coming down to 136.05 at the 200 EMA. And we have 140 is the main resistance. In my opinion, we might dip a little bit. So 136.05 to 136 flat could be coming in that range. Might be a little dip there, and we'll have to see if we bounce off that or not on Nvidia. But be warned that there might be a small dip upon open. Bitcoin's also dipping. We did call it the 94,000 area. That's what's happening so far on Bitcoin. We have a head and shoulders like structure that's developing right here. This is leading to a little bit more downside, so it could take us down to like the lower 93,000 area if that fails us. So keep that in mind for a small dip on Bitcoin. For NQ, we have some tough resistance around 21,250. We had to break that to hit 21,300 to remain bullish. Because we're starting to turn here, there is a risk that this could be coming back down to about 21,150 where this imbalance is, and also the breakout area. So there's that risk of some downside. We need to try to get back above 21,250. Otherwise, there's a risk of this dipping lower. For the QQQ, we hit some tough resistance at 516. We called this out yesterday. The last time we had 516 near all-time highs, we did reject, and now we're starting to reject here. We need to get back above 516 to turn bullish. I do anticipate we could be dipping upon open, so 512.5 is a possibility. If that fails us, we're looking for 510. So look at those supports, and we'll see if we bounce off of them. There might be a little dip to 512. Then we'll see what happens with the Joel's job openings report, but so far I do anticipate a little bit of a dip in the markets. For Apple, we have tough resistance at 240, but it's still strong looking compared to the market. It might consolidate in the 240 area for some time, so give that some time to develop. For the IWM Russell 2000 returning over here, we're stuck between 240 and 244 as our main range. But if 241 does not hold us, we're looking for 240.8 at the 20 EMA, followed by 239.5. So keep those levels in mind. I'll be watching them very closely. For coin, we're dipping a little bit because of Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the support at 290. We need to hold that, otherwise this will dip lower. As of right now, we're range bound between 290 and 310. For Amazon, we pushed very nicely to 212, but now we're slowing a bit. We have 210 as the main support. If that does not hold, we're looking for this breakout area to be retested at 208, 208.7 to 207.6. That range, very close to 208, is going to be tested if we reject here. So be careful on Amazon. There is that risk. However, Meta has some tough resistance at 595. If we break that, we're looking for 600. It is consolidating at 595 for now. It could go either way. But if we get that rejection, we're looking for essentially 588 to 590 as our main support, not to mention 585. So be careful, guys. We could push more, but then we'll see if we get that rejection. Microsoft is dipping right here. We have to see if we could hold above 430. If not, we're going to be looking for a retest of the breakout area around 428. So it could be a small dip right there. And Google's also rejecting off 174. If it does not hold above that, we're looking for 172.5, not to mention 171.6. So watch those levels very closely, guys. But that is it for my video. Overall, the market is still holding up decently, but there is going to be a risk of us dipping a little bit upon open. So please be very mindful of that. And then whether or not we get a big bounce or if we continue to fall is going to depend on the jobs numbers. So get ready for some high volatility at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, I thank you all so much for your attention. Please have a good rest of the day and peace out.